Hello, Janesville, and welcome to Behind the Curtain, where we highlight the wonderful things that are happening at the Janesville Performing Arts Center. Of course, we have Jim McCulloch, who's always my warm guest, our co-host. What do you want to be called?
I'm the Community and Education Outreach Director.
Okay, we'll call you that.
For the Janesville Performing Arts Center, and it's a joy to be back here, Alan. Thank you for having me.
So, what's on the docket? I hear we got entertainment and education.
The month of March is a very busy month at the Janesville Performing Arts Center. We start off, the first performance we have is our Taste and Tune series. So you come in, have some craft beers, listen to some local folk artists, and just have an enjoyable time. It's $15 for that, and that's on the 7th of March. That's up in the big theater, so if you haven't attended one of those before, a lot of fun. A lot of good times, a lot of great craft beers that are up there, free for the sampling, and then some really nice tunes to go along with it. So if you haven't been to one before, I would recommend coming out to those. This will be our last one for this season, and then we'll start them up again next season when we put our season together.
Now, the Taste and Tunes, does that happen on the main stage?
That happens up on our main stage, yes. So what happens is we have 2 bars that are set up in the auditorium, and audience members come up, and it's pretty open. We try not to oversell this. We want to have people allow them the opportunity to get up and move around a little bit. And they're right on the stage, so it's kind of a neat little experience that they have with the artist. It reminds me very much of like an Unplugged series when MTV had their Unplugged. Yeah. Very similar to that, very acoustical.
Yeah, I think with events like Music at the Marv, with the Marvin Roth Pavilion in the summertime, you got people coming up, getting food, going and having something to drink. So having it kind of open and not the sit-down type of an event kind of makes it a little...
Absolutely. It's very friendlier. Fun. A lot of fun and some really good times. So that starts out the month of March, and then follow that up on the 13th of March. We've got our comedy series. This will be Jason, I'm going to get the wrong name, I know. Jason Acevedo.
There you go.
He's a Chicago comedian, family-friendly. We always keep our comedians, try to keep them family-friendly as possible. He'll be coming up here on the 13th, and he'll be doing a show down in our gallery. That's our smaller venue we have, seats about 120 people. They sell out. They will sell out guaranteed. So if you want to come see Jason on the 13th, I would recommend getting your tickets immediately. There are still some available, but we do sell these out readily. So every show we've had so far this year, which is a great problem for us, we're just hopefully going to be able to move this series, the comedian series, up to our main stage in the near future. So if you haven't been to one of those, awesome times down at the gallery. Always a good show, always a good time. Regional comedians we've gotten from the Minneapolis area, Chicago area. Jason comes to us highly recommended from Comedy Central. He's had an HBO special, Showtime specials. So we're really looking forward to having him come up here and make us laugh.
Great. It's always great to see big name acts coming through. So.
Right, exactly.
As well as local talent.
And he's an up and coming comedian. So, and then following on the 14th, we have our piano fondue, which you have not been to one of those. Those are awesome. Basically, it's 2 baby grand pianos, 2 musicians. They sit on the stage. They take all of your requests, and they will play virtually anything. And if they don't know it, they will play it for you anyway. And it's a cash bar up in the auditorium, so people can come up in there. People can get up. They can dance. They can move around. They can chat and talk. It's very low-key atmosphere. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's never the same show twice. So, like I said, you'll come in, you'll be handed some paper and write down your requests. You go up and you make your requests for what you'd like them to play. And then they will try to work those in throughout the entire evening. And that basically is the show. The show is all audience requests. And these 2 comedians, Piano Fondue, we usually get, it's never the same ones twice. It's a company out of Madison that we use. And the pianists that we've had come down are fantastic. Never been a dull show, and they're a lot of fun. So that's our Piano Fondue series that we've got going. Following that, with BJSO, so it's a really busy weekend. The 13th, we started out with comedy. 14th is Piano Fondue. And on the 15th, we've got the Janesville Beloit Symphony that's going to be coming in, doing a Spanish-themed orchestral piece. And they've got a guest guitarist coming in to play. It should always be a great time with BJSO in the house. They come in. This will be their spring concert. They'll be performing that weekend. It's a one-day only show, so if you are interested, you can call the Janesville Performing Arts box office and get all the details and tickets and get you going on that. So that's a pretty busy weekend in March for us, so we got that. Moving on after that, we've got some educational stuff happening. We've got our Young Talent Cabaret. This is one of our educational and outreach programs. It's a talent show for 10 through 18-year-olds, and this is the fifth year we've been doing it. A lot of fun. We get all the local talent. Local kids will come in. They do everything from they play the piano, they do guitar, they have vocal solos. Sometimes they're accompanied. Sometimes they write original music. We've had a lot of really talented kids come through in the last several years. They're judged, given some critique and some positive feedback on what the judges liked about their performances. So we try to make it a learning experience for the kids as well, not just performance. But always been a great crowd pleaser, and just some of the amazing talent that's coming through. Not just from the Janesville area. In fact, last year, 2 of our contestants took first and second place were from the Whitewater area. So it's a regional thing. It doesn't have to be just Janesville talent, but it's a Young Talent Cabaret, and we're excited to be bringing that to you. And that's on the 20th of March. Following it up with our last Live on Main series. Did you have a question about that? I kind of rattled through here, Alan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Was there a deadline for the kids sign up?
Kids will be signing up, yes. They'll be able to sign up that second week in March. We try to give them as much time as possible. So if anyone is interested in preparing something for the show, they can always contact me at the Performing Arts Center. Jim at janesvillepac.org is my email. Or you can certainly call down there and we can talk in person and I can get you the information. But yeah, the deadline is I think it's the 12th or 13th of March.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And then we try to limit it. We've had to just because it could go on forever, but each contestant will get approximately either 2 songs or 6 minutes, whichever is greater. So we try to limit it that way so we can get as many talented individuals on as possible. In the past, we've had as many as 10 to 15. I figure that's a good hour and a half's worth of entertainment. We take a little break, we come back in, and announce the winners, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully people can come and see that, and hopefully if there's any young talented musicians, entertainers out there, and they want to come in, give us a call. We will hook you up. Moving on after that, we've got our last Live on Main series, which is Rex Havens, Women and Children First. Rex is a nationally known comedian. He's been touring for the last 20 years throughout the 50 states, and he does... it's a unique brand of comedy it's comedy, but it's also comedy with a message. So he does a lot of interpersonal relationships, a lot of comedy that goes into that. You and I are both married. We know that we have ups and downs in our...
No, my marriage is...
And what he does, he kind of uses that subject matter as most of his material for his comedy. And then he kind of brings it all back to a poignant, relevant... meaningful kind of an event. So if you have not experienced this, Women and Children First, Rex Havens, it should be an awesome show. So we're excited for that. Something we haven't done down here. So we're really excited to see how the community responds to it. But if you just go and Google Rex Havens, you can see some of his videos online. Very funny comedian. We're really happy to have him to round out our Live on Main series. That's our main showcase up on the theater. $25 for tickets for that. Like I said, tickets are available now, so you can call the box office at any time, and we can hook you up with some tickets for any of these things that I've talked about. And then to round out the last couple of weeks in March, we've got one of our resident groups, Stage 1 Incorporated, will be doing Bus Stop, a classic piece by William Eng, and it's a dark comedy. Should be a lot of fun there. They've just cast it now, so they go into rehearsals very soon. So that's Stage 1's last production for the season. So we're winding down our season. We're coming towards the end of our season, and we're starting to look ahead towards the 2021 season. We're starting to put some acts together and getting our calendar filled up with lots of fun things there, and we'll come back at a future show and talk more about that. So those are the events that are going on down at JPAC for March. Now a whole other series of things that are going on down there, which is more in my wheelhouse, is the education outreach classes begin late February into early March, and we are taking registrations through the 10th of March is when the last class starts. So if you see this in March and you're still interested in taking classes, give us a call. We have auditions that are coming up for Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web is a production I'll be directing in the spring. We have auditions for those in mid-March. So you can call down and talk to the Performing Arts Center. We can get you hooked up with that as well. But we have lots of classes. We've got 2 acting classes, an improv class for some of the youth, as well as our main stage review, which is our musical review class. It's a production class taught by Vicki Neitzel. And this spring we're going to be doing, it's a variation on Cinderella. Through the something glass slippers. It's got a twist on that, but it's a Cinderella themed musical that we'll be doing for that.
Yeah, and I think the last one she did was the Surfing Santa.
Surfing Santa. That was our Christmas extravaganza.
That was very fun.
Yes.
It's great seeing all these kids up on the stage
Right.
and participating.
Right. We usually get about 30 to 40 kids that are up there, and that's amazing. With all the other activities they're involved in throughout the school year, it's just great that we can get the kids together. It's a limited number of times we meet. I think we counted up the actual number of hours of rehearsal and something like 35, 40 hours, which is, not a lot, but it meets weekly, and then as it gets closer to the time of the performance, they meet a little more regularly for the rehearsals. But it is a musical. It's fun, always a good time, so that goes up on the big theater, and we're really excited for that, and we're also excited that there will be some summer things coming up as well. So we've got a Shakespeare project, as well as our summer musical that's coming up. So there's lots of things that are happening, but in March it kicks off our classes, our class sessions. So like I said, 2 acting classes for ages 3rd grade through graduating seniors. There's 2 classes offered there. We also have our improv class, which is relatively new, and it's kind of gaining in some popularity. Mostly we had 7th, 8th, and a couple of high schoolers that came in, but like I said, we're just kind of piloting the program now, and we've had a lot of inquiries about it, and that kind of is, we're hoping to complement our adult improv troupe that does shows down at JPAC. We're hoping that this will complement them.
So how do people find out about the adult improv troupe?
The adult improv class, if you call down to JPAC, we do have our improv team, so to speak. They perform regularly down at JPAC. All you need to do is go to our website and just type it in and look for the improv troupe, and it'll tell you when they're available. And also, if you're actually interested in becoming a member of our improv troupe, you can contact the box office, and they can put you in touch with the troupe leader, and they can help you out and tell you how to get involved. It's a lot of fun. So come down and support the comedy and the improv troupe.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Is that about it?
That kind of wraps it up for March. It's a busy month in March. We'll be back in April, and we've got lots of big things coming up for this summer. So, as always, thank you for having us and sharing your time with us, Alan.
Hey, love JPAC. Nice neighbors.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, you heard it. Janesville's Performing Arts Center, all kinds of exciting things happening. A lot of things that you can do to get involved, get your kids involved. Coming down for some great live music, and the fact that you got all this stuff that's happening up on the stage where you can kind of be in on what's going on, which is really nice. It makes it a nice, comfortable environment, and it's a great venue. So
it's a great venue. Lots of family fun, something for everybody.
Yeah, it's a gem of the wonderful city of Janesville. So come down to the Janesville Performing Arts and check it out. Thanks.